Episode 2.
Welcome back to another episode of the AB1GK podcast. Today is season 4, episode 2, and we're joined by another very special guest. Asmir, I'm going to let you introduce today's guest on the podcast.
Yeah, so on our second episode of the season, we have a very good friend of mine, great friend of ours, longtime member of the AB1GK team. So we're glad to have David Smalley on the podcast. Welcome to the pod.
Filming whilst we're in Iceland. David's here coaching the young goalkeepers that we have. Talk about the last. Well, we've been here for 24 hours. We're going to be here for another day coaching. What's the standard been like?
It's actually surprised me, if I'm honest, Martin. The standard has been very, very good. We expected a good turnout with it being our first trip over here. I think, in honesty, we've been blown away by the turnout. It's been phenomenal. So it's great. It's great to be here and be involved in it. And yeah, it's fantastic. It's been a whirlwind 24 hours, and I look forward to the next 24 hours. It's fantastic.
Well, you know, this is the first one we've sort of done as a team.
Yep.
You know, us really are sort of home team. We've done a couple of camps where we've used our academy team and coaches, and we've sent them all over the world, to be honest. I've been to a couple myself in Bosnia and other countries. So actually the fact that we've done this, come here to Iceland, I think the hospitality has been incredible. I know I mentioned this in a previous episode. The way that people have looked after us is awesome. The appetite for goalkeeping amazes me every single time. I don't know how you feel, Dave, as a coach on being on the grass, but we know there's an appetite, but every time you go into a camp, you're like, okay, are people going to really take to this? Are they going to enjoy it? But when you see it firsthand, I think the joy and pleasure that I get and see is absolutely incredible. How does it feel as a coach?
As a coach, the thing that I really take from days like today and tomorrow when we're there is you got the young pups, as I call them. They're learning their trade, but they're so interested and want to ask so many questions. Am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? What do I do if I do this? What happens if this happens? And they're just so interested in learning. And the kids that we've had at the camp today really want to develop and push on and go well in the game. And that, for me, today was fantastic, because you can do camps where kids turn up and they go through the motions and you try and push them on. But today we didn't have to do that. They all wanted to really get in amongst it and really wanted to learn and take something away from the day. So that for me was fantastic. And being out there with them and implementing ideas into them that they can possibly take into their teams when they go back to playing their games. If they come out the other side better for it, then brilliant.
What's it like compared to coaching in England? Is it a massive difference in the keepers here? Hungrier here? They seem really hungry for the game.
Well, the first difference is it's a lot colder.
It's a lot colder.
Where's
that here? Both on winter gear, by the way. Where's that shorts at the moment?
What is it? We're coming up mid-June and it's like 7 degrees outside and snow on the hills. But no, in seriousness, there is a real hunger about them. They really want to learn. I think that speaking to a few people today, they've never actually had anything like this come over to Iceland. So the fact that we've come over as a team to do some coaching, try and help them develop, I think has really, really benefited the kids that have turned up today. Listen, some people might say, oh, okay, you've only done 6 hours with them, but that 6 hours is 6 hours more than what they've had in the last 4 or 5 years. So straight away, we've implemented a few ideas to them, a few techniques, some essential techniques that will help them benefit moving forward as goalkeepers. And I'm just blown away by today.
We've done these camps obviously before in different locations, but the most incredible thing is when you see the improvement between day 1 and day 2.
Yeah.
You know, obviously day 1 they're taking a lot in, and we of course you got to teach the fundamentals and really reinforce those. But actually, how quickly kids take these things into effect and put them into action is incredible. So even when you see the difference between day one and day two, they improve massively. And I love the progression of the kids, love the development of the kids, and that's one of the biggest reasons why we do it. Why we do the academies. But actually, when you have them with the academy, maybe you get them once a week, maybe twice a week.
Yeah.
But when you actually get them for 2 full days and interact with them, the difference is unbelievable. The difference is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And that's obviously the power of the coaching and what we do as a brand.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's when you're doing the academies that we've got dotted around the UK, like Asmir is saying, we might have an hour and a half with them once a week, but then when they return a week later and you try and go back to what you've done before, it's all of a sudden it takes a few minutes for them to go, oh yeah, I remember what we're doing now. But when you got a 12-hour period of going from one camp to another, and all the children are coming back who we've just had the whole day with, they pick it up instantly.
Yeah.
And so therefore you can really start homing in on the fundamentals and really going into technical detail that their minds, and they're just going to take it all in. And it's brilliant. It's fantastic. It really is.
A lot of young goalkeepers tuning in that probably don't work with coaches right now. How important do you think it is for a young goalkeeper, no matter what age you are, to go and work with a specific goalkeeper coach, go along to sessions like that we have in Cobham and all around the UK, go and work with a specific goalkeeping coach?
Me personally, I think it is incredibly important. If you have a child who has a real passion to be a goalkeeper, and listen, a lot of children watch football on TV and it's, I want to score goals, I want to be Phil Foden, I want to be a Haaland. You don't see many people watching TV and go, I want to be a Jordan Pickford, I want to be an Asmir Begovic. So when you get them come along and they've got a real passion for being a goalkeeper, but they've never done it before, then you've really got to take that on board and nurture it and get them coming through into a situation where, yeah, I want to do this and I want to really, really push on with this. So as a goalkeeper coach, I think it's so important. We've had children today in Iceland that they've never had a goalkeeper coach. So when you're trying to implement things to them, like even something as simple as a scoop save, they don't even know what it is, and it's like, right, okay, so let's strip this right back and start at the very beginning, and this is what we're going to do. And when they come out the other side of it and they're doing it naturally every single time, you go, okay, good, they've picked it up.
It's invaluable, Asmir, to work with a goalkeeping coach.
I mean, it really is. And I think if you want to do goalkeeping properly, if without a proper goalkeeper coach, how will you ever know if you can do it properly? So you need the right education. The fundamental fact of goalkeeping is you can't do it yourself. Yeah. You can't really teach yourself. Yes, you can do some activities here and there, but you can't just go kick a ball in a park. You need help, you need coaching, and that's what we do with our academies and our camps. But we're here in Iceland today, but we hear a lot of our first 3 seasons with all the guests that we do. We like to take it right back to your journey, to young David Smalley.
Okay.
How did you get into goalkeeping? Were you always a goalkeeper as a child? Getting into the game, into the professional game later on, how did your whole journey start?
I actually started as a forward.
A striker.
Yeah, I was a striker. I wanted to score goals. My dad was a footballer. He played at a very good standard. And I think I got the bug from him. I used to follow him everywhere. Every time he was playing on a Saturday, on a Tuesday, used to go with him everywhere. And then I was watching one of his games, and the goalkeeper that he was playing against was just unbelievable. He just stopped everything, and I'm like, and the praise and everything that he got at the end of the game, I was like, I like that. I fancy a bit of that. And then that was it. I just got the bug for being a goalkeeper. I do.
Do you remember your first pair of gloves?
Yes, I do actually. Yes, they was Sondikos. Yes, they was. Listen, back in the mid '80s, there weren't many glove brands on the market. So you had sort of Sondico, Ulsport, Reusch, and that was about it. So when you go to your parents and say, I want to be a goalkeeper, they're like, right, okay, we'll buy you the cheapest pair of gloves because this is going to be a phase that you're going to grow out of. But no, it just grew and flourished from there.
Did that sort of love and the way it flourished, and did you think about doing anything else, or was it always plan A? Because it's been well documented. My plan A worked out, and I'm not ashamed to admit I didn't really have a plan B. But how did you? Straight plan A, want to be a goalkeeper, do it the highest level I can, and nothing else, or how did it feel for you?
Well, when I said to my dad that I wanted to be a goalkeeper, he said, "You'll never make a goalkeeper as long as you've got a hole in your bum." And I was like, "Right, okay, cheers, thanks for that." And I think that sort of spurred me on a little bit to go, "Do you know what? I'm going to prove you wrong." And that was it. I never looked back from there, and I just flew from there.
Ruby, you're a good tennis player as well as a kid.
Yeah, I was all right as a kid. Yeah, my real close pal, he's very high up in the LTA, who never actually beat me. So
let's touch on that. We've obviously spoken to coaches, and we do it all the time, and it's something I keep repeating it all the time. Cross sports.
Yeah.
How beneficial is it? Again, I played basketball, volleyball, tennis, table tennis as a kid. Eventually, of course, I had to go down the football route full time, nothing else. But how beneficial can it be for young goalkeepers, boys and girls out there to play? Yeah, obviously do goalkeeping, absolutely. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, maybe play a bit of tennis. Great for footwork, great for hand-eye coordination, fitness, coordination, anything. So, do you feel it's really beneficial? It helped your goalkeeping?
do you know what? You've hit the nail on the head on all the aspects that I was going to say. Your hand-eye coordination in any bat and ball sport, your hand-eye coordination is important. As a goalkeeper, your hand-eye coordination is probably what makes you make saves, along with everything else. I think it's massively important. I say to some of the kids that come to the academy at Cobham, and I say to them, like, the parents say, Blake can't make it this week because he's playing cricket. Brilliant, that's no problem, because that's going to help him in the long run, because he's getting an eye in for a ball that's this big, and if he can hit that and do it the way that he wants to do it and put it into the areas that he wants to put it in, his hand-eye coordination is going to develop much, much quicker, so that when he comes to catching a football, it's going to be a lot easier for him. I do a lot of stuff with the young kids where we do activation warm-ups with tennis balls as opposed to footballs. Because like I say to them, if you can catch that tennis ball one-handed with your goalkeeper gloves on, if you can catch it with two hands with your goalkeeper gloves on, when it comes to catching a football, it's going to be a breeze. Yeah. You ain't got nothing to worry about. So we do a lot of that, and I do think it's massively important. I do, really do.
Absolutely love that. I think it's a great tip for coaches, for kids out there, which is great. You move into your playing days, and of course you move into your coaching days. How did the playing transition to coaching? How did everything come about from your side of things?
I think that my transition from playing into coaching came about because I'd been in the game for so long. I didn't want to come out of the game, if that makes sense. I loved being around the changing room atmosphere. And I felt that I had something to give back. Now, if I make one good goalkeeper out of 100, 200 kids that I coach, and they go on to have a half-decent career, then I'll go, all right, I've succeeded, I've done my job. But now that I'm doing the coaching and I'm working still in full-time football as a goalkeeper coach, I love it. I love what I do. I genuinely do. I get up in the morning with
You've got a real passion about it.
Yeah, I have. I really have. And some of the sessions that you put on with the full-time guys that I work with, I adapt them to go on a Monday night in at Cobham and go, you know what, the kids can do this. I know they can. I just tweak that a little bit, And so I'm always looking to develop myself. I'm always looking for new things. I always remember when I'd done my very first coaching course, and at the end the assessor went, you can now class yourself as a thief. And I was like, why? He said, because you'll watch every other coach do their things, and you'll take bits from him and bits from him and bits from him, and you'll put it all together for you. So, and he said, but other coaches will do that with what you're doing. So, yeah, I love the coaching, I really do. And I just went on from playing into coaching because I just thought it was the next step and the natural progression from playing into coaching. So,
Coach, is something that you might do, Asmir?
Don't see it, Martin, to be honest with you. Way too much respect for it. I mean, even when we do these things, I know I'm sort of around and love to interact and set up the brand and the organizing of things. But coaching is an art.
Yeah.
It really is an art. And I would love the fact of...
You've worked with some incredible coaches.
Yeah, I mean, really, really lucky, of course, and learn from them. And it's such a massive respect for goalkeeper coaches. It's an art. It's a passion. I love goalkeeping. I really like almost in a slightly different way, this whole overall kind of holistic way, where I can inspire goalkeepers. Coaching, maybe I've done my B license. I like it. What level will I go into? Maybe, I don't know. I really don't know. But I think it's such an art. And I think that the best of the best, you know, I've worked with you for many years, Dave, and you see you guys work. It is a passion. It really is. You know, the fulfillment you get from developing and working with goalkeepers and producing them and helping them along the way, and the relationships you build. And I think the union, the goalkeeping union, is a really cool thing to be part of.
Yep.
But I have that passion, and again, I'm so focused still on playing and driven to do that. I haven't quite given thought yet, but you never know. I wouldn't rule it out, but I definitely think it's an art to goalkeeper coaching. But Dave, you've worked as a goalkeeper coach at Hampton and Richmond, Chelsea Women, now at Aldershot. So we've done a lot of work together. I actually wanted to get that perspective because we do like to get people from all different levels of the game and sides of the game on the pod. What's the comparable maybe for some of the non-league goalkeepers that you've produced and everything they've done? Is there maybe more humility in the game? Rather than always, it's the grand old football and all of this, but actually there is a sort of genuine feeling about the game sometimes. Sometimes whether it's national league level and those levels below. How do you feel like working with those goalkeepers translates over into the game?
They have a real desire to. Hey, listen, they're full-time professionals, the same as you are, just on a different level. But they have a real desire to push on and go from the National League into League Two, and they want to do it. And some of them have come out of League Two to go into the National League. They've taken that step back to take a bigger step forward, and push on elsewhere. I mean, you know, we've got 3 goalkeepers at Aldershot. One who you know from your time at Everton. So he's been around the Everton setup.
Young Pat Nash.
Yeah, young Pat Nash. Geordie, our Dutch albatross, because his wingspan is massive. He played in League One, League Two with Bristol Rovers. He wants to get back into the Football League. And we've just signed the lad Marcus Dewhurst, who's come out of Sheffield United. He's got a desire to get back into the Football League. So there is real drive amongst these guys who...
Some unbelievable competition.
Yeah, it is. And listen, everyone speaks about how hard leagues are to get out of. My personal opinion is getting out of the National League into the Football League when you've only got one promotion spot and one playoff spot is unbelievably tough. Yeah. And everybody's in the same position. They want to get that Football League spot. They want to get back into the Football League. They want that, I'm a Football League player. Listen, like I said, they're all full-time pros now. But the drive is unreal. It really is. And, you know, they turn up with a unbelievable work ethic, which everybody else does, but their work ethic is, I want to be better than I was yesterday. I want to be better than I was last season. I want to be better than I was 2 seasons ago because I want to get back into that Football League.
Yeah, so important.
A little chip on the shoulder, isn't it?
Yeah.
Attitude, which is great. Dave, who have been sort of the goalkeeping presences in your life have made a massive difference. You know me well. For example, everybody knows David Coles was a massive influence on my life, not only my career but my life. People like that who you stick around, the goalkeeper coaches I've worked with, the relationships I've built. Who was your sort of mentor or inspiration, or anyone that kind of played a massive role in your goalkeeping journey?
So, youth team coach, a guy, Brian Drury, who really pushed me on as a goalkeeper. He took me everywhere. Everywhere he was managing, he took me with him in youth football. But in men's football, I'd probably say good friend of mine, Stuart McKenzie, who wasn't a household name in football terms as a goalkeeper, but in non-league football he was unbelievably good, and he got me through some tough times. And listen, I still speak to him and give him a call every now and then, see how he is, and like you, Asmir, you speak to Colesy, you go and do the odd session here and there with him if you can, and I used to do the same with Stu, and it's he'd probably be my biggest influence at the moment, I'd say, off the top of my head. So
it's massive. Influences throughout your career as a player, as a coach, anything you do. I think they play a massive role in the people you can always kind of reach out to. They might reach out to you the other way. So important to have those people in your life. Massive summer for football, Martin. We've touched on it in episode 1. We cannot get away from it, but we have Euro 2024 just around the corner. Obviously, we have to ask you about England, your thoughts on England, any dark horses, any goalkeepers you're looking forward to watching in the tournament. Go on, give us any thoughts you have on the tournament. Massive tournament.
Huge tournament. Funnily enough, we was having a discussion in the car on the way to the hotel. Me personally, this may be a little bit unpopular opinion. I don't think England will win it.
I think you're right with that. I do think you're right.
That's my opinion.
Always the pessimist you two. Come on, let's go win it. Come on, I'm not even English.
Listen, I hope they do.
Yeah,
I really do. I hope they do. I just don't think that they will. For me, I think.
What do you think's lacking? What makes you say that for you? I'll give you my opinion in a minute.
I don't think that we have enough tournament winners, in my opinion.
Goes that final hurdle when you get to a semi-final and it gets to the very, very fine margins.
That's my opinion. That's what I think. My dark horse, with it being in Germany, I think it's tough to look past Germany.
Yeah, me too.
Germany on home soil, I think it's going to be very. I think they'll go very deep in the competition. So that would be my dark horses. Goalkeeper-wise, hey, listen, I hope a friend of yours, Jordan, has a good tournament. I really do. I think also as well, if he has a good tournament, England will go deep in the competition. I do. So he's the one I'm looking forward to watching, if I'm honest.
What were your thoughts? You were going to say?
I think it'd be tough for England, but I do think Portugal will be there. And like you say, we were rooming together here in Iceland, and we spoke about Germany a lot. I think Germany would be really good. Yeah. To think with England, it's that final hurdle, the fine margins. Harry Kane penalty against France. It was just that fine margin. Scores that, they go on and win the game and could win the tournament, the World Cup last time around. But yeah, I think going deep into a tournament can be really, really tough. And it is mentally, it's not all about that you've played the games, you've done your season, you're fit, you're sharp. Everybody's in a groove, but it's up here, isn't it? They're getting you over the line.
Like you just touched on, the mentality as well. You have teams in the competition who have won more than 1 or 2 Euros or World Cups, and that mentality is like, we're world champions, we're European champions, we that's us, and you walk around with that swagger. It's also the same as. In the Premier League, you have that swagger. Yeah, we're a Premier League winner. We have that swagger. You're a double Premier League winner. That swagger gets bigger, and it becomes almost ingrained in you. That's what we do. We drive it out. We drive it out. We drive it out. We go and win. We go and win. We go and win. And I think that mentality hasn't quite reached all of the England squad yet, in my opinion.
Not a young body still in there.
Yeah.
Good. No, I like your take. Let's see. It should be a massively interesting tournament. You know, I think we're looking forward to it. I think any sort of football festival like this is always a lot of fun as a fan. But before we finish this episode, Dave, what we like to do is throw you 5 quick-fire questions, random questions, which you have no idea about what's coming.
All right.
So we're gonna get a genuine answer. But no, actually, no, they're not too difficult at all. So we're gonna do 5 questions. I'll start. Shall I start?
Yeah, Asmir,
You happy?
start, yeah.
Okay. So, favorite football ground you've ever been involved in, like a match you've been involved in as a player, as a coach, anything?
St Mary's.
Like it.
There you go. You took me to say that.
Best goalkeeper you've ever seen play live?
Pat Jennings.
Oh, what a guy.
That's a good goalkeeper. Favorite pair of gloves ever?
I had the
Besides the AB1
yeah,
team, or-
yeah.
that's all right.
The Royce Peter Schmeichels.
Biggest inspiration in football for you?
My dad.
Good answers, by the way. He's all right. Okay, let's go. What should I say? Favorite football kid ever?
The England World Cup '90 kit.
Yeah, my first memory of a World Cup that was, by the way. I had that shirt with the embroidery on it as well. Yeah,
Gazza's
First
tears and
memory.
all that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's for me.
Tops it off nicely.
Tops it off nicely. I think it's been a great episode.
Yes.
Well, David, listen, thank you. Before we go, so anyone who wants training with David as part of the AB1 team, we're Monday nights in Cobham and Surrey. David, wish you all the very best with Aldershot for the next season. Promotion, you never know. Bit of luck.
Hopefully,
Anyway, give it a go.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining us here in the podcast, here in Iceland, being a valued member of the team, one of our favorite people here as part of the AB1 family. Our podcast, Martin, season 4, well underway.
Yes.
We are on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon. Have I missed anything?
Yeah, YouTube. Subscribe to the channel if you're watching on YouTube. If you're on Spotify, make sure you review us. We want reviews.
Yes, we do. Also, we have a promotional discount code, pod30, ab1gk.com. Go there. We're all over socials, Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter, whatever it is now. TikTok. You're on
Yeah,
TikTok.
TikTok.
Football Martin. Yeah, follow him.
Yes.
We are on TikTok. So we are everywhere, guys. Follow us, like us, give us reviews. Anything you have, we love to hear it. And we can't wait for the rest of season 4. And David, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
And
It's been a
on to the
pleasure.
next one.
It's been a blast. Thank you very much.
It's been good. Thank you.